Hello! How is everybody doing this evening? Well, good, I hope. Let me get some volume here. Maybe that'll help a little bit. So I've got, I have a paper tonight that has some different things on it here, some different questions people have asked about, some different topics we can touch on here tonight. And of course, as always, if you've got anything pressing, any, you know, hey, I'm editing a video and I got a problem, or how can I do this? Put it in the chat here, and we'll see if we can't take care of that right away. But one of the questions we had that I think deserves a bit of talking about is moderators, moderation in the chat. How to assign moderators for your live streams, what being a moderator means, and what a moderator is in the world of YouTube is an individual that's been given some advanced capabilities within a stream, within a live chat, to sort of police the channel. Unfortunately, YouTube being a obviously a public platform, which we all very much enjoy, also opens the doors for some individuals that are less than ethical, I guess might be the politically correct way to say that. And
Spicy Wife here says to handle the dumb. That's why you have moderators.
Yeah, to handle the dumb. It's a shame, but some people, I don't know, they just really seem to want to show their backside. So a moderator has the ability to delete a message, has the ability to time that person out for, it's just 300 seconds, isn't it? Yeah. 300 seconds, which of course is, do the math quick. 6, 5, 3, 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes. And so that does silence them for that period of time. Of course, they can come back in. I had it. It was 5 minutes. But the owner of the channel has the right to ban somebody from the channel. The moderators do not. Like I say, they can temporarily time them out. To be a moderator, to be a good moderator, number one, you have to, in my opinion, you have to be alert and aware of what's going on in the stream. If you suspect something may be starting, and a lot of times you can tell this just by the name of somebody that pops in the chat. Obviously, in a situation like this, I can look through the list, and I'm going to address some of you folks in here because you've changed your names on me. You see somebody come in and they have a very, very questionable name. Like, I don't even know, I can't think of a good one right now, but you can tell. You can just say, hey, that's way out of place. Just it's not going to belong. So you kind of keep an eye out on them. You quit doing math in your head when the TI-30 came out. Okay. So you just kind of keep an eye on them, and if they do cross that wonderful line, you know, you can delete the message, you can time them out as necessary. There are some people that allow the elevated rights of moderators to go to their heads. They maybe think that they're better than others. That is not the case at all. It's just that they have some sort of rapport with the channel owners, that everybody is comfortable with them in their position. And obviously, if something there changes, then the channel owner has the right to revoke that moderator status. And I can show you how moderators are made, and we will do that. I don't know, did we just get a little fudge there? I saw a flash of red over here for just a second. Have figured dreams. I have to start taking these lessons more seriously because I'll be making videos again. Okay. H-Top Skills, good evening. Thank you for stopping in. So, as I said, we're talking about moderators. The whole thing is they just kind of have to be aware, and they have to be a little bit above board. The other thing that is very, very helpful is if you have a guest on, or to put additional information in the channel, different links to other people's channels, email addresses, anything along those lines is certainly very much appreciated by the owners of the channel. And if, for example, when we have our Monday night live shows, we have a guest, some of the moderators put in the guests' links to their Facebook page, to their YouTube page, to maybe a store that they have, or anything else, and that just makes everything go a little cleaner and easier to do. So let me bring this screen over. And I have Smudge's page up here, but I want to go into Smudge's Creator Studio, and this might be confused at the moment, so let's see what we have here. Yeah. There we go. Well, I see a change here already. Have you noticed this? That to go into Creator Studio, like with Smudge's account, I don't have a choice of going into the beta. Maybe because he has no content. And this may not have been good since Smudge doesn't have anything. There's no content available. All right. We're going to go back into
Isn't there share dash do family home stuff? What were you trying to do?
I was going to show where moderators were added within that All right, here's where you customize your channel, which we'll get to the playlist here in just a moment. Okay, in the standard Creator Studio, and they don't have this in the beta version yet, so it gets you back out of it. If you go into the Community tab, you'll find a setting here that says Community Settings. This is a place where you can add or remove moderators from your channel in the event you're not doing it directly from a live stream. I can go into a live stream and I can highlight a user in the live stream, click on the little 3 buttons off to the right. I'm sure you all know how to do that, where you can go to that person's channel. Well, as the stream owner, I can go in and I can make a person a moderator. But if they're not in the stream, you want to set things up ahead of time so you don't have to be bothered with that. Or if you're going to stream from your phone, which is it's a lot more difficult to have moderators from your phone, you can set this up ahead of time in your Creator Studio. You go into the Community tab and the Community Settings, and you can add and remove moderators right here. This is also where you will find hidden users. And these are people that have decided to come into your streams and cause issues. For the most part, that's the only reason people put them here. There may be other reasons why people are blocked from a channel, but in this case, and as I mentioned earlier, if somebody comes into your stream with the name Scumbag, there's a pretty good chance that they're not there to add any type of content to your stream other than bad content. So you can also
Does it say what is the minimum that you have to be able to have a moderator? How many subscribers? Because I don't remember. We've had them for so long.
I'm not aware.
Thank you, Farmer Brad.
I'm not aware of a certain number.
I'll go search.
I mean,
Keep chatting.
if you can do a live stream, you can add moderators.
I would think so.
Yeah. I mean, there was a time you couldn't do a live stream until you had like 1,000 subs. You just couldn't do it. So they've relaxed those, and that's not the case anymore. Horticulture Geek, Scumbag is your cousin. Okay. Well, you better keep your cousin in line there. How cold is it here? It's chilly. It's single digits, I believe.
Yeah, we're down to single digits, I think.
Simply because you asked. Well, not quite. We're currently at 11 degrees, but it's going to go down to -6. And tomorrow's going to be a high of -5. It's a high of -5. So at least wise, that's what AccuWeather has to say for our immediate area. Where am I at here? Okay, so here's the moderator page we were at. Let's go through a few more of these items here. This is also where you will find your subscribers to your channel under this community tab, provided that these people that subscribe to you allows that to be seen. So that would be under this tab. Comments to all your videos appear under the community comments tab. And we're only going through these for you folks that are pretty much just getting started and want to understand a little bit more about what's in here. YouTube if they think a message might be spam, they'll throw it into the likely spam. UK Scrapper sent us a message here 15 hours ago. It just says big thumbs up. Well, I don't know that that's spam, so I'm just going to approve that comment. Doesn't say anything bad. It's nothing derogatory. It's fine. So I just approve the comment. And of course the live streaming, which is what we are doing right now. For those of you that haven't hosted a live stream, this is what you see on our end. This is on the back end.
It's 100 degrees Fahrenheit in Australia. Why?
Of course, in your video manager, this is where you get all your videos are seen that you put out with a little bit of information. It shows how many views they've had and how many comments, likes, and dislikes. We have some people that they love to give us this thumbs down all the time. Don't know why that is, but that's okay. They had to watch us to do that. And of course the dashboard is what you get when you first come in. So let's go back over to I'm going to close some of these out because I don't want to modify our channel. I'm going to go into Smudge's channel. So if you're setting up your channel new, and we've had especially since we've started doing the Thursday night thing to help younger channels, get started and get going on getting some subscribers and so forth. You go into your channel, and what you want to do is you want to click Customize Channel. This is where you can come in and you can put something in the description. And I've mentioned before, this is a very important piece for you to have filled out. This is your chance to introduce yourself to the world. First impressions mean a lot of times. And so you put in a little bit about yourself. Now, obviously, Smudge.2FamilyHomestead is a bot, is not a real person. We use this as a bot in our channel here. So I just have a little bit of fun with this. And I said, hi, my name is Smudge. I belong to 2 Family Homestead. I watch your chats. I live in Ohio. I could put down here that I cuddle with cats. All kinds of things. But maybe tell a little bit about yourself. Maybe the location that you're from. Don't give your street address. Don't give your phone number. But if you have a Facebook page, put that in here. If you have a Twitter account or any of the other social media platforms, put links to those in this description area. You can put your email in here. If you have a post office box or someplace where you would want to be able to receive mail, I don't recommend you putting your private mailing address in, but if you have a post office box or something, you can most certainly put that in there. Okay. For playlists, you can create new playlists. You don't even have to have any videos to create a playlist. So on this one, I'm going to put in smudges. Smudges favorites, and I'm just going to create a new playlist here. I can click on the edit here, and I can add a description. This playlist will contain all the videos that Smudge makes while chasing the cat. Okay, so you have a little description. And then, of course, you can add videos. Now, I don't have any videos here at this point in time. They would be in here. This channel has no videos. Well, here's what I'm going to do here real quick. To upload a video, you go to the little video camera here and say upload a video. I recommend that you set this to either unlisted or private when you first upload. If you set it to unlisted, you can send somebody else the URL to that video and they would be able to view it by using a specific URL. If you set it to private, nobody can see it except for you. So I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to grab one of our promotional videos. Let's see. Who did we have last night? Smoky Ribs.
Oh, Kerry, he doesn't chase it. He'll put his, you know how Kerry is, he'll pick up his paw and smush it first.
There we go. All right, I'm just gonna, we'll let this go and we'll go on here to do some other things. We mentioned the doing the banner for your page. Don't have an opportunity there to do anything yet. Do this. And we uploaded this last Tuesday night. This was a picture we got off of Pixabay. And we had to increase the size slightly so that it would fit. But this is just a small subset of the picture that we actually grabbed. I wanted to touch on that a little bit more here today. If you go into the help section, and they call this channel art, YouTube creates different images that will show on different devices that the people are watching the videos and stuff on. And this is the different sizes. They have a channel art template. This is a zip file. And I've already downloaded this. But this template is what you're seeing right here. But it gives you the opportunity and I'm just going to open this up in paint.net. This gives you the opportunity to actually see exactly these sizes that are used by YouTube to display on your banner. So ideally what you want is you want a picture that covers this large area, 2560 by 1440. That's going to cover this whole big entire area. But just in this center section, which is 25, I think it's 2560 by 423, and that would be this area right here. That's the maximum size that will show on a desktop. In other words, this top section won't even show, this bottom section will not show. Then there's a section more or less in the center of that shows on a tablet, which is 1855 by 423. And there's a desktop minimum and mobile, or just read that as phone. That's this smaller section here, that's 1546 by 423. It gives you this template because now you can take an image and resize it to match these sizes and see exactly where it's going to fit and how it's going to look before you upload it. And I've had a lot of people ask, well, how do you do this? How can you edit these? We could spend an entire night on editing pictures. The program of my choice to recommend to people is paint.net. And it is free. It's an open source program. It will rival Paint Shop Pro. It is... Is now.
Carrie said she couldn't hear me. Country Girl just asked, where is that accessed again?
Where is what access?
I'm assuming what you're doing there. She obviously wasn't paying attention. Neither was I, because I can't tell her.
Okay. Let me back up here a second. This is on the YouTube help page. And it's create or edit channel art. And what they call channel art, this is where your banner is. They have a template here that you can download. It downloads as a zip file. They give you all the dimensions, but they also have a template. So I took that template and I downloaded it, unzipped it, it's right here. There's two different files in there. One is for Photoshop, and the other is just a PNG file. Well, I don't have Photoshop because that's a very expensive program.
And we're cheap.
And we're cheap.
No. Frugal's a word, right?
Frugal.
Frugal. Frugal
Yeah.
sounds better.
Yeah. I have hundreds of dollars more money than I would have if I would have all Adobe products.
Bandana just said it's hard to be on the alert to slay trolls and pay attention to what Daryl's saying. That's okay, Bandana. You listen to Daryl. I'll watch for trolls tonight.
So I open this up, this PNG image. I open that up, and I open it up in paint.net. Paint.net. Let me go back here. Okay. Oh, what do you know? That's not it. What did I do wrong here? I did something wrong.
You're boring, Swampy Acres.
Okay, paint.net. This is an open source program, and that means that it is free, does not cost you anything. They have the license here. You can read on this. You're welcome to donate to this project. This is a group of people, generally out of high-end colleges, where people work on programs like this to make them absolutely outstanding. So I guess they're up to here about 4.1.5, it looks like. There's older ones, but see, that's home. Here's features. It will run on Macs. It'll run on Windows. It'll run on Linux. This is the different versions that they've had. So every time they make a revision, a lot of times this is just adding other languages to it. I see that, for example, they went from 4.1 to 4.1.1. They added Ukrainian translation and a Norwegian translation. There was a bug in the indirect UI color wheel control where it wouldn't pick up the correct value for the alpha slider. In other words, just some very, very minor thing. And they continue to upgrade it and make it better and better and better. But it's been good for years. There is a user forum. There's a blog. It's just a fantastic program. This will rival any high-dollar photo editing program out there. And this is totally free. So this is the one I certainly recommend. I have others.
Banana wants to know alpha slider. Is that like a little hamburger?
Yes, that's for people that are under 5 foot.
Oh, that would be Brenda. She informed me.
Okay. So anyway, what we had here is we downloaded a picture from Pixabay. And I talked about this site last week. We'll talk a little bit more about it right now. Pixabay. This site is full of pictures, has some video files. Let's see, they kind of divide them up into categories. Let's just go back here. Stunning free images. And these are free not only for personal use, but commercial use. They have pictures by category, animals, computer communication. Well, I don't need to read all these. I think you get the drift here. And you can do a search. And the way we came up with that picture that we uploaded last week, if I remember right, we did Sawmill. And I believe that this is the picture right here.
Yep, that's be the one.
So this picture is not of the same size that we needed. So I took it, I brought it into paint.net, and I increased the size to make it big enough, and then just simply uploaded it, and YouTube grabbed it, and they took a chunk right out of the center, and that is what you see here. So if you look very closely here, you can see this stack of woods on both sides of the lane. We'll come back here. This is what you're looking at. So you're seeing this piece right out of the middle here. Let me I think I have something here. Maybe. No, I guess I don't. Thought I had a little tool that I could draw on the page here, but that must be on my other computer. All right, I'll have to get that for next time. But you're pretty much just taking this section right out of the middle. Once you have this picture in Paint, you can merge other pictures with it. You can put text on it. You can maybe take, well, let's do this. We'll go into Filmora, User Media, Snapshots, and we'll just grab this one, and we'll open this one with Paint.net. And I'm going to adjust this a bit. I want this part of the text. So I'm going to say crop it to selection. I now have this piece. I'm going to select it all. And you can see here that I can place this. If I wanted to use this, I could set it right here, and I need to make it a little bigger to fill up that area. So I'll just kind of stretch it out. So that would cover up the center part that would be needed. I can paste that into another picture. I can use this as the start of something else. Now that I have it this size, I can copy it and paste it into another picture. So this is the type of things you can do with this Paint.net. We can big time resize it. And I can just flatten it into other images and make it all work. We can also and what I'm doing here is I'm taking all the color out. And I'm not going to get real detailed here, but I can come in and I can remove all the color, save it as a PNG image, and everything you see here with the little checkerboards will be transparent. I can lay that on top of another picture, and the only thing then it's just as if it wasn't there. And then of course the Monday Night Live would just show up on top of another picture. So that's the kind of things you can do with this. Go ahead and close that out. Don't save the changes. Same way here. We're not gonna save anything. In other words, you can take Filmora version 9. You can create a thumbnail, put in whatever text you want, whatever pictures you want, take that snapshot and use that as a start to develop your banner for your page. It's entirely up to you. Okay, we have a video uploaded here now, and as you can see, it they give you a URL for it. The URL is currently, I uploaded it as unlisted, so it's not being displayed to anybody. The only way anybody would ever know this video existed is if I send them this link right here. If I send them that link, then somebody would be able to watch it. So now we'll go back into the YouTube studio. And there is the video that's now uploaded, and it's marked as unlisted. But I could go back into my channel and go to my playlists. I thought I created a playlist here. Maybe because there's nothing in it, it's going to show that way. Smudge's favorites. Add videos. Okay, so now in Smudge's favorite, there is one video.
Is there a benefit to using unlisted rather than private for videos you are uploading but aren't ready to make public yet?
I made it a habit when YouTube was going nuts with the demonetization status, where it seemed like everything you touched they demonetized right away. But there was a thing that YouTube suggested at that time, was to upload a video as unlisted, so their bots had a chance to attack it and do whatever they wanted to do with it. Leave it sit that way for 2 or 3 days. It could maybe be unlisted, so then you could appeal it and get it remonetized before you made it public. I don't believe anybody will ever know if I'm not sure the best way to say this.
How come your Google Chrome is letting you edit it? Mine won't, and I have to use Microsoft Edge.
Edit what? I guess. I use Google Chrome for all of our YouTube stuff. And I don't know what editing you're referring to. If you're signed in
your channel
to the channel, you can go in and edit it. You can do that with Firefox. You can do it with Edge. You can do it with Google Chrome. I'm not sure about any others. I don't know if you can do it with what's the default one for iOS? I can't think of it. Opera, I think. Could be.
Look at me. Margaret, I don't think we've used Premiere for anything yet, have you?
We have not done a Premiere. Premiere is simply where you can upload a video and schedule a time for it to go live, where you can have a chat running beside the window for its initial playing, where you can be in the chat and you advertise to your subscribers to be there, It's sort of like a live chat watching a pre-recorded video.
Right. Can you explain open broadcast system? Plus, you also still have Bandana's question there to answer.
Okay. So we want to, before we go to OBS, which we'll do here in just a moment, is there any other questions here as far as the playlists, the browser? Let's see here. So uploads. Where am I at? There we go. So now I have a playlist. And the video has not, it's not caught up yet with the video, which is, I find interesting, because it should be there.
Homesteading the Hard Way says on their laptop, it says the video was restricted. How do I log on there?
Okay. There should be a little icon up in the upper right-hand corner where I have the mouse right now. Smudge's pictures there. If I click on it, it will drop down. This is where you can sign out. This is where you can sign in. You can switch the account. In this particular case, I am logged in as smudge.twofamilyhomestead. I can switch that, and I can log in as myself. I can log in as Two Family Homestead. Or I can add an account. I can sign out. And so let me do that. I'll just sign out. Okay, so now I'm in YouTube, but I am not signed in. In the upper right-hand corner here, it says sign in. So this is a bunch of strange videos to me, because I'm very rarely in here in this fashion. So now I can sign in as Two Family Homestead, or Smudge. I'll sign in as Two Family Homestead for this time. I have it so it has my password cached. And so I am now signed in as Two Family Homestead. I think sometime during the week we're going to make a change up here on our banner, maybe get some text up here. Let me just close this out. All right. Yeah, you have to be signed in here. Once you're signed in, you go to your home page, you can customize your channel. You can also go to your Creator Studio. You have to be signed into the browser, and that applies whether or not it's Firefox or Google Chrome or any other channel it can be. So now we'll bring over OBS. So what I have here in front of you is open broadcast software that is not set up in any way. It's kind of brand new. I mean, it's not. If you want here, you can see here's template scenes for Monday Night Live and for Tuesday Tech, and Filmora for a cookbook giveaway for the Christmas stream. But I just created a new one. I just call it Tuesday for Tonight. This is what you get when you first start with the program. And I guess I probably need to move me. All right, now it got me out of the way. So within OBS, you have different scenes that are broadcast. Now I have this in studio mode. The difference between studio mode and I guess regular mode is what you're looking at here. This screen at the top that's all black right now, that is what you would be broadcasting. If you put it into studio mode, the screen on the left, you can build this screen, and what you're actually broadcasting is what's in this screen over here. Everything within OBS starts out with the term scene, which is the overall picture that you're going to build here to be broadcast. If you do it in the studio mode, you can build it over here, and then when you're ready, you just cut it over to the live stream. So this, because you have to have a scene by default, even if you create a brand new one, the first thing here is scene. You can change the name if you want. We're just going to leave it as it is. And the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a webcam. So the video capture device, I just have to make sure I'm grabbing the right keyboard here. We're going to call this laptop. And what you're looking at there is the laptop that's sitting in front of me with its default screen. And as you can see, it came right up. I have not configured anything special here, and for the purposes of this, I'm not going to. We'll just say OK. And that has brought up a screen of this size for the webcam. Now, I can resize this image. I can pull it out, make it full size. Or I can make it tinier. I can move it around the screen. If I go back into the settings, I can change the resolution. I'll say custom. So now I have to give it a size. So now if I just click OK, you can see that it made it much smaller. But again, I can resize this. Now Now because it's smaller and I resized it, it's not quite as clear. On the other hand, if you use the smaller images, it doesn't take up as many resources. So anyway, for the purpose of this, we're just going to go back to the default size. We're going to say OK. Now you can see it's huge here because I increased the size. I want to get that back to where I started, and that's called the transform or transformation. So we'll reset that. This is default settings. That's where it's at. We're going to shrink it down a little bit because I'm going to want some different background here behind me. If I wanted to play a video behind me, I can come in here. A video would be a media source. So I'm just going to call this vid1. It's a local file. I'm going to browse to it. And we're going to say OK. And if you notice, you don't see it here. You don't have any idea what it's doing. So we'll go back in here and look. I don't have it set to loop, but it does say hide source when playback ends. So that pretty much closes it down. It's only going to display when it's being broadcast. So I'm going to click this so that the source will remain viewable. I'm not going to loop it, so it just plays once and stops. We'll say OK. When I go to broadcast this, I'll cut it over to the live feed. And here is the video that I just threw in here. Okay, so if you notice, it took my picture away. This works just like when you're editing videos. We change the order so that this changes what is on top of the other object. And now this allows you to stack things within your picture.
Is this Bandana's question?
She wanted to add pictures, right?
Oh, okay.
So I started with a video, but I can also go to a picture. So we'll just call this one picture 1. And we'll just grab something here. So now we've added a picture. Let's get another scene so I can start changing some scenes. We'll say scene 2. Because this way I can put scene 2 over to the dark side. So we now have a picture. I can create an image slideshow. And to do this, you can either use directories or individual pictures. So we'll just add a directory. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll just do this Christmas pictures. Select folder. And we'll click OK. You may have to size this accordingly, whatever you want, but this is how you can set up a slideshow then. You can change the amount of time between the slides, how long it takes to transition. There's different transitions available. You can use a swipe method. You can randomize the playback between all the pictures. If you're not looping it so that it continuously runs, you can let it go through one time and it just closes and shuts off. That can be useful if you want to have this come up when you first make something go live and you want something in the background. For example, on the Monday Night Lives, when I have Smudge do the rules for the trivia, he comes out and talks, and as soon as that video file is done, it hides. Just goes away. So whatever is behind Smudge at that point then shows. So that's where I put in what we're going to give away for that particular trivia prize. That's how that's done. So here's how you do slideshows. We have other pictures here. You can change the stacking order to see what's what. You can actually have things lighting up clear off the screen so you can't see it all. We'll cut that over. So you can see the video's running fine over here in the background now. The slideshow, it's chugging away. Static picture. And obviously I'm down here in the corner. Add text. And you just type in what you want here. You can choose any font that's on your machine.
Goldshaw Farm, how many total layers can you add on OBS? Add in OBS.
I don't know if there is a maximum number or not. I'm going to say your computer is probably going to run out of resources before the program runs out of ability to add. So I guess I don't have an answer for that. All right. So this is all hidden behind there. So let me do this. Transform. Let's center to screen. There it is. I had it hidden behind this other window. Now I can take that. This is a sample. I can change the color. Make it black. I can make it vertical. I can add a background to it. We'll make the background white here in this case. Change the opacity so I can make it jump out. I can outline it, and for this we'll put red on it. And of course I can also change the opacity of the red. So we'll say, okay, this is a sample. I can also add filters. Unfortunately, oh, here we go. I'll do it this way. There we go. Add filters. I'm going to make this so I can scroll with it. Say okay. And that's, you can scroll it vertically. Or you can scroll it horizontally. And of course you can alter the speed. So we'll say close here. Now I need to stretch this out in between it. Okay. So this is how you get scrolling writing for the OBS. I have the ability to capture windows. So on this laptop, I have this is on the laptop, so this is a window that I've captured. I have the ability to come in here and turn any of these on or off by just clicking beside it. So you can build a scene and have numerous pieces on it and control whether or not you're showing them or not. I do this for our trivia questions. I have one screen that I have different trivia questions here I turn on and off that I edit before the shows on those nights.
Angela wants to know, what is the name of the OBS software?
OBS. It is Open Broadcast Software. If you just go into Google and type in OBS, you will come up with it, guaranteed. Very, very popular platform. It is also open source. Now, I will also state that there's another website out there, another company, if you would, called Streamlabs, that they have taken OBS and they have put some of their own little fidgets connected to it, little things that dance on the screen if you get a subscriber, if you get a super chat, if a number of other little things, as well as some different games and chat bots, all sorts of things. Streamlabs, they have a lot of very, very neat things. But they took OBS and they said, we're going to make it easy for people to stream. And they added all these things to it and made it available for you to download and use. Now here's the drawbacks, and I'll just be real blunt about it. They took a version of OBS, and once they modified it, you're stuck into that version. You can't go back to OBS and get an update from OBS when they do make an upgrade or an update and just overlay it on theirs. It doesn't work that way. Matter of fact, theirs is not supported by Mac. It is not supported by Linux. At least it was not the last time I looked. So if you just wanted to grab something, you're running a Windows PC, and you want to grab something, go real quick, and didn't want to learn to set it up like what I'm doing here right now, they give you all kinds of templates and different things you can go with. It's an option. I would recommend you go with OBS if somebody would like to learn how to make templates for in it. If you've noticed on our just for example on our Monday night shows, well, I can do this because this is not broadcasting. All right. This was for in our Monday night shows. And I'll take it out of studio mode. If you notice, I'm hoping you can see this. I don't know any way to make it bigger right offhand. But I have two different sets of text coming across here that are actually disappearing. They're fading out into the background. Now that's all done with templates. So that's the text as I just showed you a minute ago here on how to do that. I've created it with outline, different color, but I've created a black template that fades out with a black background. So these two pieces of text are just scrolling through here. We can come in and here we'll put the Santa back on. And there's the Santa running across the screen. We'll turn the Christmas lights off. Christmas top off.
Nate, he always uses OBS for live streams.
It's a very, very popular program to use for live streams. Because you can do all of this type of stuff with it.
The only night that he used Hangouts was Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, right? When we had multiple people.
Well, even then I used OBS.
But they didn't call in with Skype. It was Google
Right.
Hangouts.
Right. Well, we had Skype was in use because was it Big Bear? Yeah. What I did for our Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve show, our guest was connected to us via Skype. Skype has a program. The latest Skype program has the ability to connect in the background with OBS through the NDI protocol.
But Nate's saying, but you opened it without anything running, and it's not now.
Open what?
OBS?
The OBS that you are looking at on the screen is on a totally different computer than what I'm doing the stream with. If you notice over here, it says start streaming. I'm not about to start this up because I'm broadcasting on another OBS. This is a different computer.
He understands now.
Okay. If I were to take this, I think this is it. No, it's not. Yeah, smudge in a transparent background. What else can I take out of here? Two family text. Took the two family text out. Okay. I'm going to, if I turn off the black file, you can now see these other two lines just running. If I turn this back on where it has the areas faded out, that's how you can see the two different lines being shown so you can read them, and it just fades into the background. So this is the kind of things you can do with OBS. You can do it with the Streamlabs version as well, but you are limiting yourself to strictly Windows. You are limiting yourself to kind of being tied in with an original version, unless they're going to try to maintain updates along with the OBS platform. And it is after 9 o'clock. I didn't even realize how late it was getting. Okay. So do we have any other questions or comments, or was I able to explain that in a good method, I hope? So we talked about moderators. We talked about playlists tonight, how they're created and putting things in them. Talked about how you add photos and other sources into OBS. We didn't really talk too much about thumbnails tonight, but I guess I'm not seeing anything. So Practical Modern Home said yes. OBS, there's an awful lot to take in. They have an absolutely wonderful forum that you can join in. There are other pieces on OBS, and I guess I can share some of those. NDI is an option that's available. This is what I was talking about, that the latest version of Skype has. So it can communicate and connect both for audio and video behind the scenes. There's a virtual cam available.
Nate's asking if you can go over chroma key.
Okay.
A little for people.
Okay, chroma key is a green screen. And when I say green screen, that's the purpose behind the green screen is transparency, is to make it invisible. So let me come back into tonight's selection. Maybe.
telling you it's 9:20.
It's telling me that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring up a color source. We'll say okay, and I'm just going to make this green, because that's typically what you think of for a green screen. And that's close enough. We'll say okay. So now I have now I have this green panel here, if you would. And of course it's covering up the video file here in the background as well as the webcam image. So if I go into this now and I go into filters, one of those filter choices is chroma key. If you notice in here, they have three original colors: a green, a blue, and a magenta, or custom. I just went into custom. I selected that color of green, and if you notice here, it's totally transparent. You can now see right through it. It's no longer here. We'll go back into the filters, and I'm just going to adjust the settings here a little bit. I'm going to turn the opacity down to I'm not sure that's going to help because it's too good with that color green. There we go. I'll bring this back so it's making it a lot lighter, but it's not totally. Okay, so now you can see that it's still here, but it's very transparent. You can make it virtually 100% transparent. This is what they've done this on television stations for years with news people, especially the weathermen, where they stand in front of a screen and then they have the overlay of the state or area in the background, and they're standing there pointing at things that don't exist because they really aren't there. They have to look at a monitor to see that. So, but that's all done with the art of chroma key, and it's available not only in OBS, but it's available on all your editing programs as well as a lot of photo editing programs. So I hope that answers your question, Nate. Anybody else? Anything else? Don't see anything else. Okay, if you come up with any more questions, send an email to tfamilyhomestead@gmail.com. I can't think of anything else. Wish everybody a good week. Oh, Thursday night, 5 o'clock, doing our little support stream, starting at 5. It's been lasting 3 to 4 hours, and we've been having a lot of fun with it. So
TJ wants to know how long it takes to set up a Monday Night Live before you go on.
Well, okay, I guess the best way to answer that is, one, we create a promo video that may take anywhere from 3 to 6 hours to put together. We obviously have research to do on the channel that we're going to do. So I try to look at a lot of their most recent videos. I try to look through some older stuff, anything interesting. We have to come up with trivia questions. We have to come up, and when I have to change all the scene things on the show part, the OBS part, as far as titles, as far as the trivia questions, as far as anything else that may alter for that night. So I would say realistically we have at least 8 hours behind the scenes for every Monday night show, at absolute minimum. In many cases it's more time than that, because Sherry does a lot of research as well, and she looks at their videos, so we can ask good questions. We can try to have conversation going. We do it because we love doing it. We're not doing it because we're not getting rich at it, believe me. Harold, I don't know what kind of help you need with your computer, and I don't know that I can help you in it from a remote standpoint, but we could try. I don't know what your problem is. If you can elaborate a little bit more. Nate, I would not say yours was super quick to do. Can't think of anything else. Send us an email at twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com. That is the best place for me to get a hold of it. I know that that some of you message Sherry throughout the week on Facebook and stuff like that, but the best way to get a question answered or into tonight's show or any other show night question is through twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com, because that way it doesn't get misplaced. You want to set it up so you can stream and see the chat. Okay. Well, the chat is going to be in a Google window. If you want to stream through Hangouts, that's another window, so you can run the two windows side by side. If you are wanting to stream with OBS, again, the chat's in a different window. So what I do here, because we have so much going on, I mean, it's not just a smaller stream. I try to have different windows for different applications. So I have different windows I have a window for OBS, I have a window for Skype, I have a window for the browser that I use. I have a window for using Filmora editor. I use a different window, obviously, for Paint.net. in the case of displaying the OBS here so you can see it without it going into an endless loop, that's actually even on a separate computer that I have ported over to the other computer that I'm doing the broadcasting with. So it's just looking at it without seeing itself, so to speak. I have 5 monitors in front of me. Sherry has 2. Just because of the amount of different things we have going on. But you can, and an awful lot of people do, you can simply broadcast a stream, see the chat, the whole thing on one computer. That is not hard to do. It's where you start changing all this stuff in the background. This is where it gets a little bit more intense. I have some videos to edit, I guess is the best way I can say that. All right, folks, we're gonna drop off here. Thanks so much for being here. Everybody have a great week. Take care, and we will see you later.